Hello people, it's Robert here again. Um, with my old style classics Rob's TV World, Alan and Ginter ramblings and oddball stuff. And it is now 2:40 a.m. on September 9th, 2023. Off to a late start with this video because we had a night out today after work. Won some tickets to go see this show in San Francisco, and we went ahead and took the Caltrain from Santa Clara up to San Francisco, and thinking that we would save some time. The train we were going to get on was one of the expresses that skips a bunch of stops, but it got canceled, and then you're supposed to get on another train, but then we got on the wrong train, and that train made every stop between Santa Clara and San Francisco. So that became like an hour and a half train ride. And then the late night train back. Well, not only that, once we left the concert, GPS thought we were driving, so it took us the wrong direction to walk back to the Caltrain station, which is about a little less than a mile from the Chase Center where the Golden State Warriors play. And so then we ended up walking like, must have been 2 miles out of our, like round the back way to the train station. It was horrible. And it wasn't feeling so hot. And then we had to make every stop on the way back from San Francisco here. So on the way up there, I guess we got on the wrong train. And so that cost us about a half an hour. And then we walked to the arena. And then, like I said, once we left, we went, we got put in, the wrong direction. Anyways, finally made it to the train station. It's starting to feel like crap. Been walking for like almost 2 miles, it felt like. And, it's 12 something at night. There's nowhere to get anything to drink or eat. And plus, you want to catch the train because if you don't, then you're stuck in San Francisco or have to Uber from there back to the South Bay, which is about 35 miles, 35, 40 miles. And it's kind of funny when you actually look at the map, it doesn't seem that close. And especially when you come to the Bay Area, it's just so much traffic and so many people that, it sometimes feels like it's 100 miles away, but it's not. It's only about 35 miles. And it's funny, back in New Mexico, I can go like 35 miles to go from the Northeast Heights in Albuquerque, which is up by the mountain, all the way to, let's say, Belen, where my mom lives, which is a small town like 35 miles outside of Albuquerque, and I can get there in like 35 minutes. Granted, the speed limit in New Mexico outside of the city is 75, and here it's 65, unless you get like in the middle of the state. But nevertheless, I can get to my mom's when I used to live there in about 35 minutes. And in the Bay Area, 35 minutes you might get, 10 miles up the road, especially with traffic. When there's no traffic, it's pretty much no different, But when you are in traffic, to get to San Francisco, it could take you about, I don't know, about an hour and 15 minutes. You used to be able to carpool, but California's so, they just want money. They just want money for anything and everything, so they're getting rid of the carpool lanes and putting in this fast track where you have to have the little thing on your windshield or whatever, and it recognizes you and it charges you to go 2 or 3 miles. So even though we could carpool, we can't because you got to have a fast track, and if you have so many people in the car, then you can do it for free, but you still have to have that thing, and it has to have money on it or connected to a credit card. Yeah, it's insane out here. They charge for everything, and it's really to benefit people with a lot of money, because why didn't they keep the carpool? Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent, but point being is that, you know, taking hour and a half to go that 35 miles, especially around 5, 6 o'clock at night. It wasn't too bad traffic this week because I think a lot of people are on vacation, but she decided, yeah, we should take the train because we literally live about 300 yards from one of the train stations. And so we're like, okay, let's do that. You know, so then you're running over there to go, you know, catch the train on time if it's on time. So get off of work, come home, you know, change, brush teeth, turn around, walk out, like, maybe we should stop at Costco and get a hot dog or something, but then it's like, oh, you don't have time, we gotta go catch the train. And I couldn't believe it, to go round trip from Santa Clara, California to San Francisco on the Caltrain, $42 for 2 people. So like $21 a person. It would have been cheaper to drive, you know, just park, you know, 3/4 of a mile away on one of the side streets and park for free, especially at night. But you risk getting your car broken into. But if you do it enough times, then it's, you know, because the parking over there, the Giants were playing tonight at AT&T, and Chase Center's just like half a mile or so from the baseball park. So there's going to be a lot of a lot of people there, and I think the parking is $60 or $80 in some of those lots around there. And yeah, I refuse to do that, so I'll usually park up to a mile away and just walk. Anyway, so I had seen that, you know, a lot of the eBay stuff that I ordered was finally starting to trickle in after the holiday weekend, and like I think 10 packages showed up today. But I avoided my email today, so I wouldn't know exactly what it was. I know like 1 or 2 things that came for sure. Of course, I was kind of wanting to do that, you know, mail day opening reveal, whatever you want to call it, for my mostly Allen and Ginter Andre Dawson collection. But came home, had to turn around, walk out the door, go to the train station. Then, of course, the train got canceled and we're supposed to catch the next train. Ended up on the wrong train, but still had to wait around for like 40 minutes. So, yeah, it would have been nice to stop at Costco and got some food, because went to the arena for the concert, and the hot dog was like $9.50. I got a slice of pizza, I think that was $9. And then I went back later, got a bratwurst, which was like $13. A bag of popcorn, although it was like a specialty popcorn, it was like $14. And I still was never full, and then kind of made me not feel so hot. So the train, you know, the big long walk on the way back to the train, plus stopping at every single stop, which is about 20 stops between here and San Francisco, you know, it's like an hour and a half train ride. Yeah, I should have just drove, but now we know. It's probably better to do that in the day, take the train for like maybe the baseball game or something. But anyway, so one of the reasons I couldn't do a break earlier today was because we went to this concert that I won tickets to, or actually my wife won tickets to. I signed her up, but I win a lot of stuff. I win a lot of radio contests and concert tickets, and now my hobbies have always been, I like baseball cards, collecting that. I love baseball, anything to do with baseball. Trading cards to a degree, I like the oddball stuff, and maybe a little bit of football and basketball, hockey here and there. Um, Kind of hedging my bet, or I like opening stuff. So, but I really prefer stuff like Allen and Ginter, Gypsy Queen, Goodwin Champions when that was still good, Panini. I like stuff with the mini tobacco cards. So I really don't like that Gypsy Queen changed to, even though they call them minis, it's not the same thing. And I like the old-fashioned style cards. So um, did my main collecting for the longest time in the 80s, so 87 was my favorite set. But I liked all the oddball stuff that you can get, cereals and stuff, which I've talked a lot about. But my other hobby's always been I like going to concerts. I love concerts. I like going to sporting events. I like going to plays, symphony, anything. I like going to events. And one of the reasons, I've got all these bands that I want to see. I like hard rock mostly and country. Um, Back in Albuquerque, occasionally you get somebody big like Elton John or somebody would come through. But, it had been about 30 years since the Rolling Stones had played there. I don't think Fleetwood Mac's ever played there, or U2, or not that I like U2, but those kind of bands, they just would never go there. So you could see like maybe Elton John or, um, but normally you'd get stuff like Metallica, Tool, mostly summer amphitheater concerts go through there, but we don't, or they don't really have a big enough stadium arena to hold bigger concerts like they do here in San Jose or San Francisco. Um, so, you're never going to get Madonna or something like that. We get Stevie Nicks, but not Fleetwood Mac. So that kind of level. And yeah, I feel bad for Albuquerque. It's a biggest city in the state of New Mexico, but they kind of got a small town mentality, and everyone's always resistant to replacing the arena that they have there on the fairgrounds, Tingley Coliseum. It's 70, 80 years old, and it's, you know, maybe you can stuff it with like 10,000 people, but it's really meant for rodeos, like truck pulls or something like that. Then the amphitheater, that gets those kind of concerts, but like the football stadium for the college, they've only had a few concerts there because it's kind of in a neighborhood, so the noise. Um, so when I lived there, I would just go to kind of anything and everything that went through, whether it was at a nightclub, seeing Great White or something, years later, Rat, um, country concerts, and so I love going to concerts, and I collect ticket stubs. I've always collected ticket stubs. So that's one of the things that makes me mad nowadays is that they don't really do ticket stubs anymore. And same thing for the concert we had tonight. But I did talk to an usher, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know somebody who had a ticket stub. We can go ask him." So we go over to the guy, and she knows him. And he's like, "Yeah, you can have them." So that's good for me because this can go in my ticket stub photo album that I keep them all in. And tonight was my 590th concert. Um, and, usually there's at least two bands or more at a concert, so who knows how many bands I've seen over the years. Second time I've seen this guy. I love him. He was just spectacular. I mean, he just so many hits. He was one of the main guys through the 80s, just hit after hit after hit. And, yeah, I mean, there's nothing boring. And he's one of the guys I always wanted to see. And then I missed him here in San Jose one time when I first moved here because I was working. I used to work overnights at Target. And I was so mad at myself for missing that because of the job. And so then when he was like on tour again, he was playing in Lake Tahoe at State Line, Nevada. And so we went up there and seen him at, I think, Harrah's. And he was wonderful. It was like a parking lot concert. And then he's come back to the Bay Area like 3 or 4 times since then. So I was kind of kicking myself for going all the way up there for that. But, it was a cool trip. Lake Tahoe is a great area to go visit for a little while. Stayed in Carson City, Nevada, which is kind of out in the middle of the desert, but it was neat. Um, but anyway, so he was coming to San Francisco, and I was like, sign us up for tickets, and you know, we won. So, anyways, that's why I didn't get to do that today. And I know this video is already dragging on, but I'm gonna reveal who we went and seen on Friday, September 8th, 2023 at the Chase Center in San Francisco. Mr. Lionel Richie with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Because the train got canceled and then we had to wait 45 minutes and then of course didn't get to eat, so I started feeling like crud when we were at the concert. Even after eating that other stuff, it was like waited too long. But Earth, Wind, and Fire, just excellent. It's funny. It's like I've seen them so many times, and I'm like, God, I can't remember what they sing. And then you see them, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, September and all that stuff, and a lot of funky kind of disco and everything. They're really good. But I love Lionel Richie. He's just spectacular. I mean, the dude's got so many hits between his solo career and the Commodores, and it's hard to run across somebody who doesn't like Lionel Richie. But anyway, so we went to that. Then we had this. Both ways of the trip on the train were just took forever, uncomfortable after a while. A lot of Giants fans on the train going to the Giants game, and I'm a Cubs fan, but I kept my mouth shut. I wasn't being a jerk or anything. And but yeah, it was an excellent show. Earth, Wind, and Fire. We caught most of their show, and they were wonderful. And the Lionel Richie came out, and my wife kind of liked each show, this one and then the one in Lake Tahoe, for different reasons, and I agree with her, but I think the Lake Tahoe show was better, only in the sense that for some reason his microphone tonight sounded distant or something, like it wasn't turned up or something. It sounded good, but it didn't even sound as good as Earth, Wind, and Fire's. So yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that. It still sounded good. It wasn't like coming in and out or anything like that. It just sounded kind of like it was in a box or something. I don't know. But great set list. Did all the hits, and very entertaining. It's a good stage show, and that's what she liked about this show. Because it was indoors, so it had a whole stage show, lasers, fire, the whole screen in the background. We sat up in the nosebleeds, so we were like literally just a few rows behind this guy here, and that's still good seats. I mean, the Chase Center is not huge. It's not like the Shark Tank in San Jose or the SAP Center where the San Jose Sharks play. That's a bigger stadium because it's more geared kind of towards hockey, so it has a bigger floor, and so like the footprint of the whole building's bigger. The Chase Center is more for basketball, so it's got a smaller. It seems to have a smaller footprint, and but it's more vertical. As to where the SAP Center, you got a little more room this way, but the Chase Center is more up. And yeah, the prices were ridiculous for food and drinks. We did it because it was a special occasion. Because we were almost talking ourselves out of going to this show because we'd already seen them. And But yeah, we had to do it. Love Lionel Richie. Let's see, the other thing that I love always done is I collect my ticket stubs, put them in a photo album, and that's whether it's sports, concerts, or other things that like are kind of interest. Like ever since me and my wife got together, like if we go to a movie or something, which we rarely do anymore, we put like the movie ticket in there and stuff. Kind of keep track. Like, hell, I remember when we did that. Oh wow, that was 12 years ago. Unbelievable. But I've always collected them, and I always try to get them autographed. Like I showed my Debbie Gibson one, which, well, maybe if I just lean this up here. No, it's not going to work. Um, I like to get my ticket stub signed, which means that I'm the guy that'll go out in the back and try to meet the band after the show. I'm not the kind of person that's going to pay for like VIP where you get to meet them by paying. Excuse me. It's more kind of like it's like hunting cards. I want to see you know, if I can go meet the people and meet them after the show or before the show sometimes. And that's why when you go see people at like nightclub or something, or a smaller venue, you're more likely to get to meet these people, get autographs, pictures with them, maybe talk. Like I met Debbie Gibson after her show outside by her RV or bus, whatever you want to say. So I mean, I've met hundreds, and I've got hundreds of my concert tickets signed. And so that's one of the other things I plan on doing with my channel is showing all those things and to show what I've done and what I've got to see and stuff like that. So anyways, I got a little fly flying around me. I'm trying to get rid of them. And so that's why I'm off to a late start. Now it's 3 something in the morning. Great show, Lionel Richie, and I'm gonna do a whole series about mostly concerts, and I'll probably show some of the sporting events that I went to around the time when I'm showing those other shows. I'll be like, oh yeah, and then that week we got to go to Sharks game or New Mexico Scorpions or the New Mexico Lobos or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy since moving to the Bay Area. As much as a culture shock as it was for me in many ways, you definitely get to see bigger acts, and there's constantly stuff going on up here, so you could always find some show to go see. But I've been able to check off a ton of the large bands that I've always wanted to see just living here. But the trade-off is it's expensive to live here. It's hard to get around because of the traffic and all the people. And then you got other problems like driving to San Francisco. Every time you do it, you're risking your car getting broken into, which happened to us there. Or even worse, Oakland's harder to get to, even though it's a little closer. It's just the traffic going up the 880 is just horrible. And yeah, they call San Francisco Baghdad by the Bay, and it's bad. There's a lot of let's see, problems there. People out in the streets and drugs and crap all over the sidewalks and all that. But I think the city kind of maybe they do make an effort to kind of keep the areas around like the ballpark and this place a little more clear of that stuff. I guess they don't want like tourists to be accosted by people and stuff like that. But going to Oakland, like, yeah, you're San Francisco is bad because it's dirty and it's just, just rampant drug use and people. And there's part of the city, yeah, you don't want to be. And you get broken into and stuff like that. But Oakland is, there's not as much as that, just kind of like, let's say in the downtown, But just once you get out of there, it's everywhere. I mean, bad. And Oakland's a place where you're running the risk of getting shot just driving up the road. Because I mean, you hear it like twice a month, people getting shot because people are shooting out on a 880. So yeah, Oakland is. I mean, if San Francisco's Baghdad by the Bay, then Oakland's like Juarez, and yeah, and then like where the arena is and the A Stadium is just like one of the worst parts of town. It's just horrible, and it's funny like to hear all these people up here in the news talk about, oh, the A's are trying to move to Las Vegas and it's the owner's fault and all that. I couldn't, yeah, he's going to take a certain amount of the credit for wanting to take the team away. But, I mean, come on, Oakland, this has been going on for how long? I mean, almost my whole life, everyone's been saying, what a dump. Where Oakland, the Raiders played and the A's, and you'd see it. It was just horrible. And then I've been there a few times, and it's bad. It's as bad as they say. Where the arena next to it, where the Warriors used to play, it's okay, but it's old. It needs to go. And I mean, Oakland's just lost everything. And like I said, Albuquerque, they kind of like have the small town mentality where they don't want to spend their money on building something new. And then when something new gets built, like the baseball stadium for the Isotopes, people go. And it gets paid off like 10 years in advance. And it's like it works because, yeah, people want something to do. But oh no, we don't deserve a new arena. We can't afford it. And why are we going to spend money on this? And that's the whole thing that's been going on in Oakland, my whole life. And, yeah, so honestly, I think 90% of Oakland leaving, now this is my opinion, and I'm sure the Oakland people aren't going to be happy about it because they want somebody to blame that's not themselves. So they want to blame the owner. But really, I mean, you keep voting for the same people that run that place. It's one of the most crime-ridden, ugly, run-down places. Why would the team want to play there? And, they have the mentality that, oh yeah, the guy should want to build the stadium here. Well, why? It's, the city's just run down. I mean, it's just crime everywhere. I mean, I don't know where you could put a stadium in Oakland where it would be a safe place. And it's always going to be second fiddle to San Francisco. Yeah, so I feel that, hey, you keep putting people in there who don't care about this stuff. They use crime as an excuse for, oh, we can't afford to do this or anything. Well, then, yeah, we'll go somewhere where they want us. And that's my 2 cents on that. So that's what we were doing. So anyways, I got 10 things to break open. And I've already rambled on for about a half an hour. But concert tickets, that's my main pastime of collecting. I collect other things too, signed CDs, records, books. I don't do as much as that because, they take up a lot of space. And I love baseball cards, so. Alright, so let's see what kind of Weird Al and Ginter stuff and other things I got today. So a lot of things finally piled up. Alright, what do we got here? South Dakota. Little fox. Did he even have to use that? Oh yeah, it's canceled. Alright, so I'm only sure of about 1 or 2 things that I'm getting today, so the rest should be kind of a surprise. Alright. Alright, so Oh boy, this is going to be a long video, people. Um, so, how I said I love Allen Ginter, Goodwin Champions, Gypsy Queen. I liked Panini Golden Age, Halmar Brewing cards for you guys who like cards, especially old-fashioned style cards. The Halmar Brewing cards that came out in 2005, so that was even before Allen Ginter. Just spectacular cards. They're distressed, so they won't get graded, and for some reason people either look down on them, a lot of people, or don't feel like they're a regular set of cards in a sense, like they're not like Topps or Leaf or any of those main brands. They're more of an oddball, or I don't know what, they won't grade them because they distress the card. They're really thick. And I actually have a video on that from 2013 when I had picked up a pack, the last pack they had. Anyway, so I like all these old-fashioned cards. And back for a couple years, TriStar did the Obak. Now the original Obak cards were same thing, tobacco cards, probably from around the time the 206s were out. But they were mostly Pacific Coast League, which was basically the major leagues of the West at the time. It's not like the Pacific Coast League is now, where it's just AAA. Let's kind of, we'll chalk it up to, even at the time, maybe it would be, AAA, we would say, okay, you're in the minors. And then you get to stuff like Japan and Korea, and they're like, okay, well, they're not as good as the major leagues, but it's above AAA, let's say. So somewhere in between, and that's kind of what the PCL was back then. So people like DiMaggio and those guys came up through the Pacific Coast League. So that was like the Western United States major leagues at the time. But it wasn't, it was a secondary, third, league compared to that. So back then they had Obak cigarettes, and they put out some sets, and with mostly Pacific Coast League guys, and maybe, I don't know, some other Western teams. And then TriStar put out this set. I believe it was 2009, 2010. Kind of like the same time Goodwin Champions came out. And I remember getting these blasters because by then I'd already started getting Allen Ginter. And I really love the Obak TriStar cards. They're just spectacular. The quality's, it's obviously not as good as, say, Topps or Topps, Allen and Ginter, and the first Goodwin Champions was pretty good quality, and after that they started to cheapen up their cards and the images and stuff. And I would put this kind of on par with the Goodwin Champions a few years after those came out. But these are spectacular looking cards, and it's mostly players in minor leagues or prospects. Kind of what Upper Deck does now, maybe. You'll get prospects like Jason Dominguez and guys like that in their product. But back then, so like the Obak cards, this is 2009. Let's see if we can focus in. Yeah, 2009 TriStar. And so it's got the minor league logo there, so they licensed with that. And so it'll have like Ted Williams, or some of those guys when they were in their minor league uniforms, or whatever. So it's a beautiful set. Now this card, the reason I got this card is because I do have the full size version of this card, but I don't believe I had the mini. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the mini. And the reason I got this is, I grew up in New Mexico. This is Joe Bauman. Now he's you know, in this one he's represented playing for Amarillo, and so Joe Bauman, Amarillo Gold Sox baseball, selected from the West Texas New Mexico League. So there you go. That's part of why I would like it, New Mexico. But the reason that I got this card and why it's important is in 1954. So there's he's a fascinating person to go read about, and you should probably go read about him on Wikipedia. That'll give you the basic rundown. He played minor league baseball, power hitter, and average hitter. Now, granted, it's the lower minor league level, so there's that. So we'll just get that out in the open right away. So it's not even AAA level, but nevertheless, he mostly stayed out west and played like in minor leagues, like in Amarillo and stuff like that. Then he went off to war like a lot of other baseball players, and people served his country World War II. Came back, went back in the minors, did so good. I mean, it's unbelievable, his stats. Like 50 some odd home runs and 190, just these crazy amounts of RBIs and 360 batting averages and stuff like that. It's just insane. And then I think he got his contract was purchased by I don't know if it was Baltimore or somebody, one of the major league teams. So he went to their farm system and didn't like it. He didn't like being wherever he was, and wasn't. He was already getting older by then, and he wasn't guaranteed anything, basically, just being a minor leaguer. And he was like, well, I can make more money back where I used to be, because you would not just play baseball, you'd have to work. So he had like a gas station that he was partnership in like in Oklahoma or something. So it was like, why am I going to go be a minor leaguer, in my 30s or something like that, and don't even know if I'm ever going to get to the show, let's say. So he ended up going back. And then he signed in 1950, I don't know what year he signed, but he played in Roswell, New Mexico in 1954. And that year, I mean, his batting average and RBI is obviously through the roof, which is amazing because his batting average is high. And usually power hitters, that's where you're going to suffer. But this guy hit 72 home runs in 1954. And that was the professional baseball record in America, at least. I'm not too sure what it is in Japan, but he had the professional baseball record of 72 home runs in a season for the Roswell Rockets in New Mexico. So at the time, the only thing more popular for Roswell than Joe Bauman was, the alien, the Roswell crash, the UFO crash. That's always been a conspiracy, whether that happened or not. So Joe Bauman only has 2 cards that I know about, and they're both basically this image. It's just some other company used, different border or something like that, and I don't even know if that other one is licensed in any way. So this is like one of only 2 Joe Bauman cards that are out there, and the guy, for how many decades, held the professional baseball home run record. They've even named the award for the minor leaguer who hits the most home runs in the minor leagues as the Bauman Award, and it's named after him. And it's amazing that he only has 2 cards, like not even cards from back then, because it was such a lower league. And so I know you Giants fans are going to hate this, but Barry Bonds, I mean, it's been said that not only did he want to get the recognition or the home run record, he wanted to beat Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa because he didn't like all the attention that they were getting when he was doing whatever he was doing when they got all that attention. So he is like, okay, I'm going to beat their record. So which he did. But he also was so selfish, and that's fine. But, I mean, when you're cheating, well, that's where people dislike it. That he wasn't going to be satisfied to just beat McGwire. He wanted the professional baseball record. That's why he went for 73 home runs. That's what his goal was to have this guy's record. Not just beat McGwire and Sosa. He wanted this guy's record. And then, of course, he wanted to go and want to beat Hank Aaron's record because he wanted all of them. And, and how he did it, that's why people don't like him. I mean, you hear guys argue for him in the Bay Area all the time. I hear, oh, Barry Bonds belongs in the Hall of Fame. Oh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, he would have made it anyways, Okay. Well, then he shouldn't have cheated, allegedly. And, I'm a Cubs fan. I got excited watching Sammy Sosa do all the stuff that he did. But in no way am I ever like, oh yeah, Sammy Sosa deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Well, let me give you the reasons why. He has this many home runs, he's blah, 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 and this and that. He supposedly cheated, and he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He chose to cheat, in my opinion, and he went for the glory, the money, and he got what he wanted. But at the cost of you going in the Hall of Fame. And same thing with McGwire. I don't think they belong there. Like, okay, Sammy Sosa got over 600 home runs. So using the Barry Bonds way of thinking, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame too then? Yeah. Well, I don't think so. Want to protect, obviously it's all gray area, but some things aren't so gray. Like just because you don't like stuff Kurt Schilling says, but he didn't cheat, yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame for his baseball playing career. Who cares what he has to say? But a guy cheats at baseball, and you're like, oh yeah, he belongs in there because he would have, no. The integrity of the game. And this is one of the other things that Barry Bonds did that makes me really dislike him, was he had to go after this guy's record. And it's just a shame that he only has the 2 cards that I know of, and I wanted a mini. So Joe Bauman, excellent player. He deserves to be known more. One of the other reasons I'm interested in him is obviously I'm into New Mexico history and all that. And a long time ago I'd seen that there was a book called New Mexico Baseball. And I'd always wanted to get it. And then finally, when I moved out here, I was like, oh, I want to get that book. I want to know what it's all about. So my wife ordered it for me back on Amazon at the time. Came in, and I read it. It's really interesting. Talks about the baseball they used to play in the 1800s in New Mexico. Just kind of like similar to when you hear about guys playing baseball in the Civil War. These kind of stories. Indian teams, all kinds of stuff. So it's a fascinating book. And the funny thing is, the lady who wrote it is Lynn. She goes on the book. It's L.M. Sutter, which is my last name, Sutter. So I was like, oh, that's that's cool. I'm like, wow, she got the same last name as me, writing a book about New Mexico baseball. I love baseball and New Mexico, and I love New Mexico baseball. I love the Isotopes. And so I had to have it, read it, And then I reached out to her. I found her on Facebook, and I said, "Hey, you know what? If you know," and he's featured in that book, so she talks about him, and she's wrote about 2 or 3 other baseball books too, about the guy, Artie Lang, or the one who was a spy. So I reached out to her, and she responded. I was like, "Hey, my name's Robert. We should have the last name, same last name, and New Mexico connection. Um, and I got your book. If I send it to you, would you sign it for me?" And she said, "Sure." So I sent it to her, with the postage to have it sent back. And we had chatted a few times on Facebook, and I was talking to her about him because he's in her book. And so I took because I had like 3 of these, the full size card. So I stuffed that in the book when I sent it, and I told her, "Oh, here's a gift for you, for taking the time to do this for me. I wanted you to have a baseball card of Joe Bauman." And I told her, "Oh, she should get a business card that looks like a baseball card." And anyways, so I sent her that as a gift. And I guess she really liked that, so like she inscribed my book, which I also show sometime, sent it back to me. And it basically says, "Hey, Robert, my long lost cousin that I didn't know about," or something like that. We're not really cousins, but because we share the same last name. She inscribed it really nice, not just short. And she also sent me the photo of him after hitting a home run in Roswell that somebody had taken at the time for like newspaper or something. And so she sent me the photo, the actual photo that she used in the book of this guy as a gift, and inscribed my book. And I'll show that sometime. That's just awesome. That's one of the reasons I got this card. They're beautiful cards. They got, it was Michael Stanton at the time. It was Giancarlo Stanton, like prospect card, Buster Posey. It's just a great set. I wish they didn't stop doing it. This is not the short print because some of the parallels, this like 34 would have a circle around it, or a square or something around that. And if it was numbered, they would have a number down here. But it's just a beautiful card, and I love Allen and Ginter's and all that, but I really like the old tobacco style cards. So any of the brands that did this kind of stuff, I try to get, and Obak was a really wonderful set. So that's that one. All right, next. Already 48 minutes into this. So there you go. Robert Sutter. I guess it doesn't really matter if you guys know where I live. So this one came from Sacramento again, so I'm not sure what this is. This is going to be a long video, people. I'm sorry. I just got my second win. We came home. We were so dehydrated. Drank like 3 glasses of water right away. Started drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm kind of losing my voice because I was so dehydrated. So let me take a drink here. And then I ate some pineapples that we got at Trader Joe's. Some pineapple chunks, and now I'm starting to get my second win. So feeling good and just losing my voice. Alright, this one's cool. So if you've watched any of my other videos, I've talked about, it's just the receipt. Okay. So I've talked about how Allen & Ginter's is not just what you can get in regular Allen & Ginter's. They do have some other cards that aren't part of the main set. And unlike today, I didn't buy anything today, but I was researching some more Um, Came across a couple other exclusives I didn't even know about. So, like I said, there's online exclusives. There's the National Card Convention exclusives, which I showed you the die cuts that I got yesterday, where I got one Anthony Rizzo from the 2015 National Convention, and then I just picked up another one, an autographed version of the die cut for really cheap. So, I got some 2006 National Convention cards, and then the exclusives that come in the Ultra Pro binder in 2014. Then I've also discussed like NFL, like had a Target exclusive where you can get Allen and Ginter cards in some NFL set back like 2010 or something like that, as like an insert set. And then WWE Heritage Wrestling, every 4 or 5 years. First, like in 2007, 2008, you can get Allen and Ginter cards in the wrestling. So I picked up some of those, and then they did it again in like 2012, and then 2018 maybe, and then 2021, which aren't even listed on the Allen and Ginter set list. But point being, there are other Allen and Ginter cards that are out there that you might not even know about. And so once I found out about them, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get something different, like some version of kind of every Allen and Ginter product that you can get, or parallels and stuff like that. And so I did pick up the 2007, like 6 of the minis from that wrestling cards. And then in 2008 I picked up some the Chrome, the full-size cards. And then I decided, and I already had the 2021 Allen and Ginter's wrestling set, and actually I just broke some packs in the last few days, and completed another set of those to put in my binder. So I had to pick up some of the other year's version of these, and so I got the mini 2012 WWE Allen and Ginter's Layla. Well, it's a pretty nice looking card, eh, guys? Remember her? Pretty. It's an A&G back, WWE Superstar, so 8 of 30, so they had 30 at least in this insert set, and there could possibly be more because this is WWE Superstar, and the previous ones they had WWE Superstar, and then they had WWE Legends, so maybe they even have Legends as well. We already seen that it said sorry, I'm losing my voice, 2012. But see if I can focus in on the small print. See what that says. So anyways, these aren't on like the checklist for the main Allen and Ginter set, because it's not part of the main Allen Ginter set, but it is an Allen and Ginter card that you can get. And so there's another one. That's a beautiful card. Beautiful girl. Can't go wrong. That's going in the binder. Alright. So let's move it along. Next. Still under an hour at this point in time. Alright. This one was not great packaging. It's barely hanging together. St. Paul Park, Minnesota, eBay. I'm not sure what this is. This might be another wrestling card, because some of these I've been waiting for weeks. Now, I'm giving people a break because they're probably on vacation around Labor Day, but some cards are taking... Nope, this is not even that. So, this is cool, though. So, I was just describing how you can get Allen and Ginter cards in other products, like WWE Heritage. So it's in the Heritage set, but it's Allen and Ginter. And one of the other non-Allen and Ginter main cards is I have to check the year on this. Yeah. So I'll double check on this. So if I'm wrong, bear with me. I have, I got so much stuff coming in. I have to double check the baseball cardpedia to see. Well, or I could just go look at this card on eBay and see what they say about it. But I think this might be one of the Target exclusives. So whatever NFL blasters or something that you could pick up at Target. They did have Allen and Ginter insert set, and I believe that's what this is. So I'm pretty sure this is a Target exclusive. If it's not, then it would be one of the National Convention cards. So this is another one that's not part of that year's main Allen and Ginter set. I'm fairly sure that this is the Target exclusive, because if it was a convention card, it would say something different, like NCC. I don't know if it'll focus in on that, but that's AG7, and it's got the NFL logo. So even if they did them now, they wouldn't have like the uniform or anything, because Topps didn't have that license. And I'll take a look at the receipt here real quick. Maybe it says. Anyway, so Adrian Peterson, and to me it really didn't matter who I got. I just want to have one card at least from all these different options for Allen and Ginter. And like I've said before, this is kind of the oddball to the oddball set, so that's just neat. I don't even think I got a receipt on this one. Oh well. I'll do a review on these. I'll re-show them on like maybe the next video and be like, oh yeah, I found out that this is that. Like I said, if it's not, then it would have to be another convention card, but I don't think so. And that's nice. So that's my first NFL. No, it's my second. I did get the Johnny Unitas from the 2006 National Convention. This is my second NFL Allen and Ginter player that was not part of the regular Allen and Ginter set. They do put NFL players in them, as some of the rando other than baseball cards, but the ones that aren't part of that, this is my second NFL guy. Alright, this one here is Vancouver, Washington. Jeffrey Van Zandt, thank you. Nothing else in there. Alright, another person just folded this up in paper. What do we got here? I'm thinking we got a crown. Oh, sweet. And so one of my things searching around on eBay was, I'm an Andre Dawson collector, so I just want to add any Andre Dawson, especially the ones that I don't have, to my collection. And I just started buying the Allen and Ginter's Chrome like in the last year. I didn't even know about it before. And then one of the things I think that I decided to do was they had a bunch of, I think it's 2020. So it wasn't why during, in a Cubs uniform. And I just think that of all the years that he was in Allen and Ginter and as a Cub, there was a lot of 2020s available, and they ran the gambit of the little rainbow that I'm trying to put together. So I think this is, I'm not too sure, this might be the giant card that I have. And then I had the base card, and then I was like, oh, I think I had the Allen Ginter X. And then so for me to kind of run like that year's rainbow, but not just the main set, I would need the chrome. It's not going to be like the full rainbow at this point in time, because then I would have to get all these different parallel numbered cards from chrome. But like for the, I would want the base. And this one was the refractor, so I didn't have any refractor for him that year. I'm not sure if I have the hot box one that I might have ordered. But anyways, they had a bunch of the minis, the different kind of minis. So the AMG, the black, the gold, the no number and all that. So I think those were available on eBay. So I was like, oh, that's the year I'm going to try to run it. And so this is just one that would add to that little 2020 run that I'm going to try to make. And so this is Allen and Ginter Topps Chrome 2020, but it's the refractor chrome. So card number 64. You can guess I'm a big Andre Dawson collector, and probably would focus better without the top loader, but you can kind of see the code and the 2020 on there. So I want to enjoy these cards, but I'm also been going on for a long time, so I'll spare you guys too long video. But maybe some of you like this, sometimes the videos are just too short, and people don't talk about them, and then other times people go on too long and like you're waiting for them to open the next pack. But me, I like to talk about what I got, so that's what my videos are mostly kind of be about. Unless I'm like maybe doing a break or something, then so there you go, starter. Robert, thank you from Robert. Maybe I ordered from this guy before. I just ordering so much stuff I can't keep track. Probably saved all kinds of shipping if I'd done a little more research into who I'm buying from and just kind of bundle. But I go on there and I see something, I'm like, oh, I want that, add to cart. And then after a while I'm like, okay, time to pay, because I want it to start coming. I don't want to wait a week. Alright, what I've got here is just another receipt. Shouldn't have looked at that. So in this one we've got a mini, and I love minis, or at least I've told you I love minis. And boom, there we go, my next Andre Dawson mini. And much like that Joe Bauman Obak, even though that, it doesn't all have to be Allen and Ginter. Allen and Ginter just happens to be my favorite because they're consistent and they still do the minis. But I like all those old sets, like the Obak, the Gypsy Queen, and Goodwin Champions and stuff that used to do minis. And then once they stopped doing it, then I kind of started buying a lot less of that stuff. But Topps has over the years had Topps 206, and then they had Topps 205, and then they went away for almost a decade, and then they came back for a few years. And those were the cards that had the big cards and the mini cards, and the early ones weren't that attractive. The minis that they put in those were pretty nice. But the big cards just kind of look weird. And then they've done other stuff that I like too, like Turkey Red was really nice. Um, those are one set of cards that I wish they'd keep. I love that textured card that they had, and I wish they kept the minis in good Gypsy Queen, because then I'd be super happy. Now, what would I rather have, Gypsy Queen or Allen and Ginter's? If you're into old-fashioned cards and you're one of these people that complain about Allen and Ginter because of the oddball stuff, then yeah, you could get Gypsy Queen. I personally think Allen and Ginter looks better because they're a little cleaner, but Gypsy Queen's beautiful too. So you could always, and they got some pretty cool hits, like maybe not as big a hits that you can get as Allen and Ginter, but they had some nice stuff. And I hope they do bring it back, that it's just gone away for a year. But anyways, now Topps has brought back Topps 206, and got rid of the big cards because big cards just don't look good in these designs for some reason, or especially whatever they were doing back then. They were weird. But now you can get these, and for a couple years it was like different waves, and you'd only get 10 cards in a box, and it was cool, but there was only like 50 cards, so it was a lot of repeats. And now they're doing them like 40 cards per box in each wave. And like I've said before, I really don't order stuff from Topps. I just kind of pick up my stuff from the local card shop. And they haven't had this in a few years, and I like it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to like set up an account with Topps to order this stuff and try to be there when they're available and all this, So I'm like, you know what, I'll just get the card that I need from eBay. Like I've told you before, I'm kind of a hunter. I like to go out and find these cards in person instead of just ordering something from eBay. But something like this, which is an online exclusive, to even get these, I would either have to sign up and get an account, order these, or if my local card shop had them, then I would buy them from them, which I would, but they don't do it. Or I can just swallow my pride and just order the one that I want. So that's what I did here, because I'm I want to get my Andre Dawson minis. So I ordered this from somebody online. This is the 2022, so this is most recent, or well, at least last year's. I'm not, the year. They're still putting out 2022 stuff like Bauman Platinum Anniversary, September, and they're still putting 2022 stuff out. So who knows? So I got me an Andre Dawson, just the base back, but I think it's a beautiful card. And like I was saying, I like that they're doing this. I just wish my card shop would get them, because I would rather pull it from a pack, but since they're not, I'm just going to order it. Otherwise, I have to buy the box from somebody on eBay or online, and not even guaranteed to get this card, so I'll just buy it so I know that I have this. And if I seen a box tomorrow, I'd buy it and hope that I would get this. If I have 50 of these, I'd still be happy. That's just my PC and my old tobacco style card. So it's, even though it's not an Allen and Ginter, it's, yeah, these are really nice. I mean, like I said, I like all this kind of stuff. I wish they'd bring Turkey Red back. Those were just awesome. They're kind of insert sets still sometimes, I believe. National Chicle, it was okay. I mean, nothing special. I don't think they had minis. Those were nice, but yeah, they weren't, knock your socks off great. But I always thought that Allen & Ginter, Gypsy Queen, and turkey red. They really did a good job. The minis on the Tops 206 are nice, and they've gotten better than the early ones. Yeah, like some of the other stuff that I like I said, I like Goodwin Champions when they were doing this stuff, and the Obak that I just showed you. And there's some other nice stuff out there too, like, some of the football inserts or the wrestling had some of these old fashioned kind of ones. But like, have you ever seen the, I think Upper Deck, oh, I just had that in my, I just had the name in my head. The hockey cards that are the old-fashioned style. They have minis in those, as early 2010s, I think. Champ, where it looks like it has that. It's kind of like the Loch Ness Monster, but I think it's like Canadian or something. Champ. And those little hockey cards are all old-fashioned and kind of like Goodwin Champions, and they're spectacular. And I need to pick some of those up, and so I like any of that kind of stuff. I prefer baseball like 99% of the time, but I like all sports, and I love tobacco minis. So there's that. That was cool. All right, garbage. That's a receipt. This is 2022 Tops 206 Andre Dawson Chicago Cubs Wave 1 number 40 Hall of Famer. I paid $2.25 for that. A stupid bug. Got these gnats flying around from the house plants. 21 cents sales tax, so free shipping. So that card cost me $2.46. I mean, for your PC, all day. All right, so next, from Phoenix, Mike and Amy Meyer, thank you. All right, this one's another PC, and sort of a checklist. I mean, who knows, someday maybe once I complete, well, I'll never complete the Allen and Ginter run that I'm kind of trying to do, because they always put out so much crazy new stuff every year. But I'll slowly but surely pick up, for my personal collection, other cards that fit into the basic stuff that I've just been talking about, these old-fashioned style. So I picked me up an Andre Dawson Gypsy Queen that I didn't have. So that's when Gypsy Queen did their minis, and they're spectacular. I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme that they used a few years, but it's not bad by any means. And so this one is the red back. So I got a Gypsy Queen red back, so that is a parallel. That I don't know if that's the same level as like having a Brooklyn back or a Bazooka back on an Allen and Ginter, or if it's the equivalent of having like a known number or just a black border or something like that. I'll have to look that up. But it's not the main, it's not the base. And I don't want to say I don't want to use the term short print because it's only card 20, but it's definitely one of their like lower number parallels, harder to pull. And yeah, that's nice. I like that. I like that back. So it's not just a base. It's kind of like these Tops 206. That might be a good example, so that's just the base back. And then first set of parallels would be the Piedmont back, which you usually get one per box or whatever. And then you would have the other backs, the Hindu or the Sweet Caporal, and all those. So this would be something like that. This would be beyond just the first parallel. It would be one of the lower numbers. So there we go. 2 more Andre Dawsons. Mini tobacco. So that's part of my little checklist. But more of my personal one is getting that. Any Andre Dawson, especially in the tobacco minis. We have from Gilbert, Arizona. I've been there before, drove through it. And butterfly stamp for any stamp collectors. Alright, I'm not sure what this is. Oh, okay. These finally came in. I don't think these are licensed. But I just happened to be looking up when I got those Debbie Gibson cards, the 1990s ones. I came across these little tobacco minis, and they might just be something somebody created out of their own home. I'm not sure, because I can't find any information about it, so they're probably not even official in any manner. But yeah, what the heck, they're only a few dollars, whatever. And so I've talked about my white whale, Fresno and Ginter, was always the Danica Patrick mini framed autograph 2006 card, which never able to pull, but I did pull the Danica Patrick. She's a short print number 305 in 2006 base card and her mini. I need to get her out and get her back and her black border at least. And then I went ahead and bought the next best thing for me was getting the Allen & Ginter 2010, not 2010, the 10th anniversary 2015 autograph card, where they did 100 more of them because it was popular. And then I used to always buy like the NASCAR blasters because it had one autograph or relic, and I was always trying to at least get a Danica Patrick before I ever got this one. And which I would pull her base cards and like maybe a numbered card, but I think the best I ever did was I did get like a piece of her fire proof uniform. And so I was never able to pull an autograph of her, but I like Danica Patrick, and all you guys know why we like Danica Patrick. So I saw these little tobacco minis online on eBay, and I was like, well, it seems like not legit, but it's a cool image, and there's a bunch of different ones that you can get. This one says it's 1 of 3. Millhouse, Lexington, Kentucky, USA. Kentucky grown cut, cured, never bitter, with smooth southern flavor that lasts a long time. So I was like, for the price they were charging, well, I'll get it. What the heck? I think I have one of those bootleg Michael Jordan White Sox cards that said rated rookie on it from like a flea market whenever he was doing all that. So I thought this was a good looking card, and you'll see why. So I picked this one up. So I came across Danica Patrick. She had like 3 or 4 different cards in there. And, well, I think you can see why I like this one. It's a pretty nice image. Like I said, I don't know if these are legit in any reason, but yeah, it wouldn't hurt to just have in a binder, It's Danica Patrick. So, looking good. And, yeah, very pretty. It's a pretty card. again. I don't know if it means there's one of 3 different Danica Patrick cards, or if this is like only one of 3 made. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. I mean, that's what matters. Sometimes you just get something just because it's like, yeah, that's cool. And then, like I said, I was looking for Debbie Gibson cards, and that's how I came across these. And they had like 5 different Debbie Gibsons that you can get. So I was like, oh, I like this one. So number 210, Crumble, Debbie Gibson. So it was nice to have her in a tobacco-sized card. Whether it's legit or not, I just like Debbie Gibson. So a little off-center there, number 3 of 3. So who knows what that means? Is it only 3 cards made? Kentucky, grown, cut, cured, never bitter, smooth southern flavor that lasts a long time. So same back. So I think the shipping costs more than the cards, but hey, that's kind of neat. I enjoy it. So I'll put them back in this soft sleeve, then decide what I'm going to do with these later. I might have gotten another one too, I'm not too sure. Like maybe a different image of one of them. So anyways, these are, I believe, Check Out My Cards Fulfillment Center. Yeah. So, Algona, Washington. So, what did I get? Oh wow, I got a bunch of stuff, huh? Did I order this much from them? I thought I only had 2 cards coming from them. Maybe this is that rainbow stuff I was talking about. This is cool. So, this video's gone on a long time, so if you're bored, I'm sorry, and if you're enjoying it, thank you. Alright, let's take these little receipts out. So one of the cool little things about Check Out My Cards is they show you the card that you ordered on the receipt. So instead of revealing that first, boom. So pick me up a 2017 Allen & Ginter X Andre Dawson. I like the holding the 3 bats there. And so I didn't have this. I didn't have any Allen & Ginter X from back then. It's weird that I didn't even know they did Allen & Ginter X that far back, which obviously was 2015. I don't even know if it's technically called X after that anymore. But I think that's what they label it. It just never says anything about Allen & Ginter X anywhere on them. So there's the Andre Dawson, number 55 from the 2017 set. So I'm like, well, I need one of those. So come on, focus. I think the glare off these top loaders, makes it difficult for it to focus. And it blocks the light a little bit. There you go. Code if you're interested. Anyway, it's a pretty card. As you can imagine, Allen & Ginter X, all black, easy to have chipping or whatever. Alright, so next I picked up this, another Allen & Ginter Chrome. So let's see, is this the same as the other one? Oops, sorry. Yep. Alright. So set that aside so we can look at that and make a comparison here in a minute. Alright, so the one that I just picked, this one that I picked up is just the regular Allen & Ginter's Chrome. So the 2020, so this must be the year that I'm trying to make somewhat of a run at. And so now I have the base Chrome. You can see there. And I had ordered the Chrome version of that, refractor. You know, the little rainbow in there. So now I have the base and refractor at least. Let's show you the card again. Neat. Alright. So I guess the one good thing about check out my cards is you kind of get a bunch all at the same time. Yep. So this is the year that I'm trying to make a run at. So actually, let me read this real quick, sorry. Okay. Bear with me just a minute. So base and okay, so so this is Allen & Ginter X 2020 base, and you say, well, didn't you just get one of those? Are you just adding as many as you can? Which would be possible. Did you hear that? We just got another little gnat just got zapped. See you later, buddy. Okay, so let's see if we could get a focus on this code. So what is that, a 57? 97? Alright. Grab a magnifying glass really quick. Now just look at it. Okay, so that is 97. I wonder if these are the same. No, 15 and 15. Okay, so that's 4918. And this is 97. So, for those of you who don't know, like you'll see people opening Allen & Ginter X, and I don't know if it's every year, but certain years for sure, they do have, oh, never mind, but this is probably a good example. So that's 2017, it's just very similar, so I didn't recognize that. But I think like in 2021 for sure. So you have your base X card, which is black. But if you look at it, you can see it's a little more flat, a little duller. And then they also have a, what's the term they use? I think glossy. not glossy like a 101. And I may be wrong about that, but they have there's a basic kind of a flatter black, maybe not as dark, and then they have a slightly darker, which I think is called like a glossy. And so this one would probably definitely be the more glossy one because it's really more rich color, a little more shiny. And these are a little more dull, even though they're two different years. So someday I'll have to show you the difference when I can get two next to each other. But this one's definitely a lot darker, and I don't know if it's just this series from that year, but there are differences, and they're so subtle, and people will be like, why is that card darker? Well, that's why. There are like a glossy version. So, and there we go. So 2020X, 2020 Chrome, 2020 Chrome refractor. So a little further down my little rabbit hole there. So then that leads us to this one. So what is this, you ask? 2020 Topps, Allen and Ginter again, Andre Dawson. Okay, what's special about this one? What makes this different? This is the foil. So that's out of a hot box. So as opposed to the base card, which is flat, this is the hot box, so this is the foil. And that is one of the parallels on the rainbow that I keep forgetting to point out that, yeah, that's another card on the big cards that you would need to get. I'm usually like, oh, there's not really any parallels for the full-size card. And the main set, actually, I keep forgetting and I'm wrong. There would be the base full-size card, and then this would be the foil hobby box version. The hot box. So you get the foil. So then you would regular the foil, and then you know, they might have a full-size autograph based on that card, if that's the case. Depending on how it's numbered, you might want to add that. Unless it's a 101, then, you know, you'll probably never get that. So on a regular Allen and Ginter non-X or Chrome, there are the foils. So I keep forgetting about that. So that's something you would need. And then do the mini run best you could get. So, boom. And so for comparison, there's the Allen and Ginter base 2020, and the previous one was the Allen and Ginter base hot box silver. So 2020 again. There's your regular Allen and Ginter that I just talked about, your base card, number 64, and the hot box foil. So there's that. And then what the heck? So this 2017, so like this other one that I was showing you that I thought was the glossy. There's a 2017 Allen and Ginter X Mini Andre Dawson. Love that. That's cool. Didn't have that. And it's that's kind of funny because I'd only started getting Allen and Ginter X recently, and in the other boxes they never had Allen and Ginter backs, and I guess this year they did. So I don't know if all the X's had the Allen and Ginter back or not for the minis. I have to look into that. But if it didn't, if this was like the short print like in the main set, or the parallel, I should say. So this would be like the 1 in 5 packs instead of the base pack. So there you go. You got 2017 beautiful mini Allen Ginter X Andre Dawson. So, boom. Nice. Okay, and I got this one. For what reason? I think just to have it. Maybe I didn't have it. Oh, so there's the reason I got this one is because I believe I do have this mini. But like I said, I never had gotten Allen Ginter back Andre Dawson's. For all those years, I was never able to pull one. I've gotten the black borders and stuff, the chrome and then like a green mini chrome, but for whatever reason, I was never able to pull an Allen Ginter back. So I did pick up a different one from a different set the other day, and now I went ahead and got the A and G back on this one too. So 2018. Alright, the next one for my 2020 run. Andre Dawson 2020. So, and this one is just the regular, the base back. It's not the glow in the dark or any of that. So, there's another 2020. Wow, did I get a lot of stuff. 2020. Oh, no, this is 2014. This is the black border 2014. Wasn't a big fan of the black border that year. It's just kind of minimalistic or something. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't think it's a great, the way they did the border that year. I'm just not a big fan, but, you know, it's got to go in my collection, though. Andre Dawson, number 292. I guess if anyone wants me to show any of the card again or something like that, you know, like the code or something, like to get a better image of it or something, you know, you can reach out to me and leave a comment or something like that. With my job, I don't know how often I'll get to check comments, because certain time I work with elections, so whenever we have election, we work like all the time, like every day of the week for months on end. So there will be times where I don't have the capacity to even upload or, you know, respond to people. But then in the off time, then I usually have a ton of time. So I may be in and out when I do post. Alright, so what is this one? It's a nice one, I'll tell you that. Wow, I got so much stuff from that, I don't even remember. Alright, 2018 Allen Ginter X. So there you go, that's nice. So, I got a little variety in this one. Another Cubs uniform, Dawson. Alright, the next one towards my 2020 run. This is the 2020 Allen Ginter black border. 1 out of every 10 packs. Not a huge fan of that black border either. But that's going towards my rainbow. And that's number 64, just like all of these other ones. That's nice. Alright, next. I'm just going to skip the receipt from now unless, well. So, here we go. Andre Dawson 2020. Allen Ginter back. I like those. I like one that really got a lot of ink. So number 64, Allen Ginter A and G back. So your lowest parallel outside of the base mini. So base, A and G back. Then black border would be next on the list. And why not 2020 Topps Allen Ginter X, number 64, Andre Dawson. So there's the black base mini Andre Dawson 2020. So compared to like a black border from the main Allen Ginter from X. So there's another 2020 Andre Dawson. Nice. Wow. I know I had this mini, but what back is it? Okay. 2013. This is the first year Andre Dawson was in Allen Ginter. And I do have the base card. But there's the Allen Ginter back, number 232. Those were nice too. I like that design. 2013 was a pretty decent year. The cards are nice. 2015 looks a lot like this, but it doesn't say 2015 on the front, so a lot of times you get confused when you're trying to collate your cards. So that's a bit of a disappointment, but yep, so first year Allen Ginter with Dawson in it, so I needed an A&G back. Alright, next. Alright, so Topps Chrome 2020 Allen Ginter, Andre Dawson, number 64 refractor. And did I already get this one? Yeah. So I actually got two refractors. I'm not too sure why. Either I ordered an extra one and didn't notice it in my cart and didn't remove one, or I was just like, yeah, why not? And I'm not bothered having two of them. Did I need two of them? No, but it was probably a good enough deal that I was like, that's fine. Okay, the last one of this little run until we move on to the next package. Sorry, this is going so long. 2028 Topps Allen Ginter Chrome green refractor, 27 of 99. So had to get me some color to add to my 2022, and I do have a mini green, different year, Andre Dawson, same thing, number to 99. I believe it was 2022, but the greens are just spectacular. I love the green on the Topps Chrome. They all look great, and especially the minis in 2022. So if you got the green like this in 2022, you kind of just have this green border, which is nice. But in the mini, it's got kind of a little scrolling, or you know, paisleys or something like that. It's just really beautiful. But there, it's got me one of the chrome colors. So 27/99. So as you can see, I got a lot of 2020 Andre Dawsons. So it's really quick. All 2020 Lionel Ginter X, Lionel Ginter Black Border. Brother. And G-back. These sleeves sticking together. Base. Mini. Refractor mini. Hotbox mini. Foil, I should say. Base. Lionel Ginter X. Lionel Ginter Chrome. Lionel Ginter Chrome Green. And Lionel Ginter Chrome Refractor. Maybe that's what I thought. Maybe I thought I was getting one regular base and one. Oh, there it is. No, I just accidentally ordered two, probably. Alright. If anyone's still with me, thank you. Maybe I'll have to do a shorter video tomorrow just to recap, so people don't want to sit through 2 hours of this. Next one. Check out my cards again. Alright, so what did we get here? Rushed. It only rushed it to me and it took like 2 weeks. Alright. Oh yeah, I know what this is. So this is going to be cool. I don't know if a lot of people know about this card. Yep. I'm going to keep this one separate so I can kind of keep track of this. Alright. So this 2010 Topps Tommy Bahama World Series shirt swatch. HTA TB Tommy Bahama shirt, number 264 out of 1900. So, a couple things of interest about this. Now I got another one coming too. They're super cheap, in the sense that you can pick them up for pretty cheap. So you can kind of see the design a little bit. You can see the relationship with the Lionel Ginter. Even though it doesn't say it anywhere on here. So what this is, and on the pictures you couldn't really read this. So 2009 World Series. This is a 2010 card. So New York versus Philadelphia in 2009 World Series. Tommy Bahama created this World Series shirt, and they were limited to, I don't know, like 300 or however many shirts. And so Topps bought a bunch of these shirts, and one of the promos they were running that year was they had these different inserts or special cards that they made that you can get in all their different products. So each product had like some different exclusive kind of card, and so Topps bought some of these shirts that were limited already and created a relic card out of it in honor of the 2009 World Series. So as you can see, this is number 264 of 1900 cards they did. And it says, the swatch embedded on the front side of this card was taken from a genuine World Series Collector's Edition shirt with embroidered artwork by Tommy Bahama. And I don't know if we'll be able to see the fine print here. I'm going to take this out. It's a good thing about these giant top loaders is stuff's easy to get in and out. Now these penny sleeves, I don't know, maybe not so much. And you might be asking yourself, well, what is this? Is this just some other thing that you got? Or what does this have to do with your own Ginter collection? Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. So anyways, they created this card. And the only place that you could get this, one of these relics, was in the Allen & Ginter cell sheet. So I showed you the other two cell sheets that I have from 2006, 2007. Allen & Ginter. So then I was saying I'm not sure how long they did cell sheets before they just went all online digital. Well, in 2009 they did have a cell sheet, and these you could pull out of the cell sheet. So they came with the cell sheet. So only the Allen & Ginter cell sheet. So in a sense, this is part of that Allen & Ginter set, because this you can only get with Allen & Ginter, even though it doesn't say Allen & Ginter anyway. So technically, I don't know if you would call it Allen & Ginter, but that's the only place you could get it, was Allen & Ginter. And oh, got another bug. So that's another. Now this one's probably the one that's the most borderline, not sure what to make of this, but it is only from Allen & Ginter that you can get this. So I had to have it. It's like, okay, even if it doesn't say Allen & Ginter on it, it was a product that you could only get with Allen & Ginter. So in a way, it is Allen & Ginter to a, whatever degree you want to say. So that's neat. I dig that. Let's see what the receipt says about it. Yeah, so. Okay, and then I got one other big thing here. And we'll wrap this up in about 2 hours. Maybe I'll have to split this video in half or something. I don't know. Alright, so I'm not sure what this is. Oh, maybe I know what it is. Maybe. So this came from Tracy, California. Oh, that's just up the street. Huh. Well, my friend lives in Tracy, I think, or maybe or used to live there. Wow. Okay. Huh, I didn't see that. Hey, I got another zipper bag. So this is literally just like on the other side of Oakland. So this is probably like 40 miles away from here. So it says, yep, I'm pretty, oh, that's neat. They did a pretty decent job. They took some kind of foam. Maybe I could use this to separate my rip cards. Alright, so this one I had bid on, and then I ended up buying one, but I ended up winning this card. And actually, I mean, I can't believe how cheap I got this for, because look at any of his other autograph cards for his rookie year, and I don't know, I mean, I probably paid 70 some odd dollars less than what they're charging for just getting any of his rookie card autographs. And this is another one to add to my Allen & Ginter list. Oh, cool. They actually kept the packaging too. So now I have two. I taped it inside here too. Jeez. Yeah, not bad. At least he's using the right tape. Alright. Dang it. So as you can see, we got a box loader. Now what could this be? Oh, I guess there's possibility that it could be one other thing too. Dang it. Sorry. We're getting there. We're getting there, people. I like that they kept the packaging. That makes me happy. It's kind of like the surprise when I got my unripped Alex Rodriguez 2006 promo rip card. It still came in. It still had the little cellophane pack that it came in, so I thought that was neat. All right. With no further ado. Oh my god. Let me open it this way. Not everyone opens things the same way as you do, right? Oh man, this is... It's neat that he did it. It's annoying because I'm trying to do this on video after I've been going on forever. What a good day. Like, what a bunch of stuff. For me, I'm like a pig in crap. I'm just super happy. Alright, here we go. From somebody up the street. So I bid on this and I won it. And I got it for pretty cheap. 2021 Lionel Ginter. BLRM. Congratulations, you just received an autograph. Or you just received a box loader autograph card of Ryan Mountcastle, Baltimore Orioles outfielder, first base. Boom. Rookie card. 8 of 15. Top certified autograph issue. Ryan Mountcastle. I mean, dude. You can't go wrong. I don't know. What did I think I paid like 20, 25 bucks for this? I mean, you know, some of his autographs are going online for like 99 for the same year. And, yeah, I am super stoked to have this. Look at that compared to the other autograph one I got. It's a lot bigger. And, like I said, on the regular cards, this wasn't my favorite set. But when they have that and its autograph, they really do good. It really presents well. And, so, yeah, spectacular. It's nice to have 2 box loader autographs. One of the next things, I got 2 other box loader things coming in that's going to check off my list. But I do still need to pull a N43 autograph or buy one. But for whatever reason, the M43 autograph cards are a lot more expensive. Alright, so thank you for tuning in. I got this done in under 2 hours. Jeez. Thank you for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed this. And I'll probably do another video where I kind of recap this and make a shorter version, just showing what I got instead of doing the breakout. Alright, thanks, and have a great weekend. And take care. If you get a chance to see Lionel Richie, go do it. It's worth your time and money. All right. Bye, people.